What's going on, guys? Hey, how are you? Repeat back with you. It is Tuesday night. That means it's NNR Truck Series night. This week, Auto Club playing host for all three series. Trucks tonight, Xfinity tomorrow, and then Thursday night with the Cup guys. Man, Rick and Dan, I tell you what, or Lucky Dog, excuse me, it's going to be one hell of a week. Just like at Chicago, Swatch kind of pointed out today that this could be the last time that we crown an Auto Club champ. Chicago's going away. Auto Club's being completely reconfigured. Not quite sure what the track's going to be called. But, Rick, it's going to be one hell of a race. We got just under 15 truckers that are ready to take to the field. How you feeling, sir?
Hey, Pete, glad to be with you. Lucky Dog, glad to be with you in the booth as well, Pete. Round 14 of the NNR season coming to Auto Club, and for weeks, the driver everybody's been aiming at is NNR Bowling, Pete. But we've got guys like Beast, guys like Shadowlack that are going to mix it up as well. I'm so excited.
Yeah, it's gonna be one hell of a race. I mean, Bowling, he's won like every week, if not like every other week. In the beginning of the season, it seemed like T-Glass, Lucky, was going to be his main competition, but the 99 of Shad has really stepped up his game. He's been right there just about every week, and it seems like more and more are starting to pick it up as well. We might actually have a race on our hands getting further and further into the back half of the season.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Shadowlack has definitely improved over the full course of the season and has really put the fight to Bowling, and you see him close that gap and have strong races like Chicago. However, it's just those mistakes that he makes is what's preventing him from really sealing the deal. But at a track like Auto Club, the draft is relatively strong. It's going to be a very close race, a very tight race. So I think you're going to see some great battles between those two drivers and battles throughout the whole field too. I think it's going to be a fun race to watch.
Now, the NNR Truck Series, Rick, they run just on normal draft, which I had never picked up I'd never really picked up on either until they actually pointed that out to both of us in pre-race. Rock NASCAR, J-Pop, Bama Trama, and Yotes King. What's going on out there in chat? Let's go ahead and get you guys your invites right now. Rick, I'm going to send you yours, and let's see, then I'll go ahead and get Lucky. Lucky, thank you very much for being on for me, sir. I see you there. All right, so invites are out now, guys. At the beginning of this race, we're going to be taking a three-wide pace lap. Unfortunately, over the last couple of days, NNR has had a couple of losses in its extended family. Mike T is normally here in the Truck Series. He lost his stepmom and one of the best friends to NNR that we've all broadcasted a race with, one community or league with or another. The one and only TN Vols found out that he lost his stepdad earlier this morning. So at the start of this, these guys are going to pay homage. Some of them are running Vols' stepdad's favorite driver. They're running an Earnhardt scheme, and we're also going to run a three-wide salute for these guys. So it's gonna be pretty special. Vols, if you're out there, man, you've got the thoughts and prayers of everybody that's here. And while we go on this first pace lap, we're gonna go through the field as always. It looks like on the pole is gonna be the 3 of NNR Chevy, 38 of Bowling. Yeah, with no surprise there. On the outside, NNR Swats in that 51 in P number 3, P4, that old 99 of Shadowlack. Looks like they're lining up for 3 wide already. The 24 Krabby Soup, TGM Beast in the 88, 16 of Classic Stew, 23 of More Than a Cape, 19 of NNR Cowboy, Pop Bears in 98, 13 of Garrett, Chevy back up front. And yeah, guys, here we are. 3 wide, 4 or 5 rows deep. All nothing but respect towards you, Mike T, and you, Vols. NNR's, NNR, we take care of our own, and we definitely appreciate you. Looking forward to seeing you back at the track again sometime soon. Rick, 3 wide, going down the backstretch.
A special moment, not only for this racing family, Pete, but for our friends and quite literally our family, and a great gesture of honor and solidarity from this incredible racing family to individuals all around the globe. Very fitting.
Absolutely. Lucky, we've seen this before in a few other for a few other instances, and it never gets old. There's always something that we there's it's unfortunate that it happens too often, but everybody knows that NNR is one big family, and we're here for each other.
Absolutely, and yeah, what you mentioned there, very first race of the season, we had a little tribute to Joker, I believe.
Yep.
Kelly was in the 97 truck. That was a truck that Joker was going to race in. Did a little tribute there. I thought it was pretty special. That was also around another 2-mile track around Michigan, and here it's doing at the other 2-mile track here at Auto Club. So it's kind of crazy how that ended up working out. But a very unfortunate passing from Mike. From Mike's family and Foles' family, and hopefully we can put on a really good show for these guys and do them proud and represent them well.
Absolutely, Rick. I think it's going to be one hell of a race. Bama is actually out there in chat. Bama, all of our thoughts. Obviously, Vols is a huge part of the NNR family. Actually, just got the hat that was sent to me by Coey that Vols actually purchased. So very, very big thank you. That came in today. That'll sit right here. It'll ride shotgun with me all night long. But yeah, we Bama, if you need to talk, I mean, I'm sure you have immediate, friends and family and whatnot, but hey, sometimes extended family can help too. All right, as they come across the line, I imagine that they're going to go ahead and drop back, get back into position, and get ready to go. Rick James.
2x2 and about to kick off round 14 of the NNR trucks from Auto Club Speedway. My eye, Pete, is going to be on Shadilak in the 99. He's going to get a good tow from Bowling in the 38, and he's going to have a very wide exit in 2 to make up speed headed into 3.
All right, so Lucky, I got to ask you. All right, the 38's been fast, bad fast every week. Chevy's been able to grab the pole. He seems like this 38 Crossley Ford, he's just been great on the long run. We know how fast, how wide sweeping the turns are here at Auto Club. Do you think that he's gonna have it again this week, or do you think we see a new winner?
Yeah, he's been very dominant over the course of the season. We've seen him win multiple times. I think he can definitely get the job done tonight. But this track, a lot can happen. It's kind of got some characteristics of Michigan. There's a lot of draft involved, and if you have a good enough car and you're there at the end, you can definitely make some really aggressive moves and get yourself in a winning position.
There you go. Rick James, 3 off of 4, getting closer and closer to that restart zone. Get ready to take his green here, buddy. 38 P2, 3's on the pole. He's our control truck. A little bit of a launch here. Here we go.
Out of a rocket, NNR Chevy in that Silverado, leading in truck number 3, Bowling in the 38 in second place. A grand launch means they're going to be single file from the jump into turn number 1, 3:38.99 out of the second corner.
Lucky, it seems like that 99 has been in the top 3, race after race. His biggest competition has been that 38, 3 so far. It looks like he's going to go ahead and take the first lap. And he's got what, 1, 2, 3, there's about 5 of them right behind within a 2-second gap. Again, the draft is on normal, so everybody will have some kind of a pull as well as some kind of a push if these guys can stay together all night long. Depending on where they started on the preset slider is going to dictate as far as how quick they're going to be in the opening round before we get to that round of green flag pit stops, unless we should happen to see that unfortunate yellow. Rick, down that backstretch one more time. 3's still in the lead.
$38.99, but now, Pete, the 88 of TGM Beast, stuck like a barnacle on the big gray ship that is the 99 of Shadowlack, now sailing out of turn number 4, and the great big blue wall of Auto Club greets him on the outside. The 99 of Shadowlack now comes down to the bone-colored line on the left side of the racetrack, drifts back up high, and keeps the 88 of Beast at bay. Pete, less than 2 minutes to the bump, and a couple of trucks are starting to lag.
We don't need that. I was watching Alpha York stream last night during the ENEA race, and it was very, very unfortunate, and it looks like our first caution is out. It looks like it's going to be a manual caution. So there's somebody in the back trying to catch back up. So Rick, these guys are going to have a full chance to, well, their first chance, I should say, not a full chance, but their first chance to bring it on down pit road, do whatever they feel they need to do, whatever they practiced during the race, to either free it up, tighten it up, or just maybe make very, very minimal changes, because nobody really got a chance to see what it was going to do on the long run.
No, Pete, this is going to be the first chance that these trucks get to do something special with these pickups. So I'm interested to see who's going to experiment with the tire pressure, who's going to throw caution, no pun intended, to the wind with some of the fuel strategy. It's only stage 1, Pete, and we've got plenty of time left. Let's see what drivers can really do.
Well, normally we don't see very many cautions in the Truck Series. In fact, this is their first caution in the last 3 weeks, Lucky Dog. So this is it's kind of Abby normal, to quote an old Frankenstein movie. But man, being out here in Hollywood, figured I'd use a crazy pun. Why not? But here they come, gonna line it back up, and it looks like it's gonna be the 3 to hold serve on that front row. He's going to be our control truck one more time. He's actually had a little bit of damage on the back end from pit road contact.
Yeah, and I think you're going to see a lot of these guys start on a preset 9, at least in my opinion, because taking back to when I participated in the NNR All-Star race over the winter break, we were in the Xfinity car, so yeah, different car, but typically as you go down the series pylon, the cars get tighter and tighter. So if you go from Cup to Xfinity, Xfinity cars are going to be tighter, and the trucks are going to be tighter than the Xfinity cars. So I can only imagine that preset 9 would be the way to go with the trucks on here. However, I could be wrong, but I mean, if they are running a preset 9, I expect a lot of guys to go down in the wedge quite a bit, because at least for us in Xfinity cars, we have to go down in the wedge quite a bit, a couple rounds, to really get the car turning well. So you have to see how much of their adjustments they got in, and see how they acclimatize to that. I don't know if that's the best word for it, but we're going to get ready for this restart right here.
Yeah, we're going to get ready for the restart. And Rick, one thing that normally happens once they do get into a longer run is we start to see those that have really abused that right rear, and as the truck gets looser and looser due to the fuel burning off, they start to kind of fishtail a little bit coming off of turn number 2. They didn't have that issue yet because they didn't go far enough. Do you think anybody might have actually gone a little too far, a little too early? And if they do get loose, it's going to be one hell of a surprise for some, as we see the 38 checking to the inside of the 3 for the first time. Bowling wants that lead and wants it now.
He gives it a full send down on the bottom line, Pete, but now you're seeing how the inside line doesn't work well when you're trying to launch off the corner, Pete. Not a lot of speed coming out of turn number 4 for the 38 of Bowling, so he's going to lose second place, and he'll enter turn 1 in 3rd.
Yeah, the 88 gave the 38 a big old push, but all it really helped do was launch the 88 up into P2, because Bowling just could not hold that line. The 88 stayed with the 3, they went on by, and now for the first time, there's the 19 of Cowboy up inside the top 5. He's got the 13 behind him, and I believe that's going to be Cape down low. So we got a nice little pack of cars here. Could we start to see the a little bit of separation from the different presets that they started on? Now the 88 is going to go ahead and lead his first lap.
Beast, your new leader in the nationwide F-150, but now the Crossley Ford of Bowling tries to go to the inside and welcome into third place, Pete, NNR Cowboy, truck number 19. That black and pink numbered Safe Light Custom Toyota moves into third with Chevy now fourth.
Yeah, Chevy back to P4, but still right there in the draft. There's the 99 of Shad running in P number 5. There's the 16. So he got a good little pack here racing at the top. And if it does work out to where they get into that green flag pit stop, many laps from now, as Chevy comes across the line, it says that we've got 20 laps to go, but he's only got about 14 laps of fuel in that tank. So they will all have to make one stop. With the way these guys are racing, I don't see anybody saving fuel, Lucky.
No, and I think with 2X-Way and the trucks and just the fixed gears, there's just really no point. I mean, you're not going to save an absurd 6 laps at a 2-mile track like this where you're almost full throttle for about 90% or heck, even 80% of the lap. There's just no way of really doing it. It's not going to be ethical. That 38 is already out to a pretty decent lead so far. And seeing a lot of great lead change, a good number of lead changes to start of this race. And that's a lot of it's these guys are very competitive. They're all relatively close to each other, but also the draft can definitely slingshot some guys around. And you did see early on that if you can get the outside line forming in a draft pack, it can definitely help you get around some guys if there's not a lot of people on the inside. So these last few laps of the race, or actually maybe in the stage, if these guys are all close together, are going to be very fun to watch. Just going to now stage 1 here is all about kind of sizing up your moves, seeing what works, what doesn't work, and just kind of hoping to learn something out of it to keep it to the end of the race.
J-Paw's out there saying, Pete, he's gone back and watched that Dega race from Sunday afternoon in Shadow Racing League's season championship run at Talladega. Guys and gals out there in chat, if you haven't already, go back and check that out. The draft package that J-Paw put forth, courtesy of the one and only Chain Graboid, was phenomenal. 2, 3, and sometimes 4 wide racing all week long. Go back, take a look at it later. You won't be disappointed. I guarantee it. And big shout out to the Shadow Racing League inaugural champion, King Mathers. He won himself a pair of tickets to go to Daytona here in August. We're actually going to get to meet up with him and quite a few other people. J-Paw's going to be there. Expert's going to be racing. Expert's going to be there. Expert won't be racing at Daytona, I promise you. Expert will be there. I'll be there with my missus, Alpha York, and his missus, and a couple other surprise people as well. Man, it's going to be one hell of a time, but I would definitely recommend going back and watching that race. Rick, the 38 looks like he's all of a sudden turned pretty tight.
Pete, I was watching the 38 of Bowling out of turn number 2, and he ran out of racetrack. He is really giving it all the wheel he can, and he's turning, giving it full opposite lock. He slammed that aqua wall coming out of turn number 2, and it cost him everything. Now he's at the back of the top 5.
Yeah, back to the top 5. We'll have to see, though. And we got a new driver sitting there. See, I think that's going to be the 51 of Swats. He's going to try to work his way into this as well. We're trying to find him right now. There he is. The 51. He's definitely got a great handle on the draft right in front of him. Now, we mentioned that nobody's going to be able to make it on fuel as Swats pulls down low underneath the 3 of Chevy, pulling underneath the 38 rather of Bowling. He's got an eye on that 88. He might have an eye on the top 4. I'll have to see if the guys up top decide to get to drafting, or if nope, he's not going to be able to make any kind of a move. He's going to slide on right back up against the wall right in front of that 88 of Beast right behind him. So that's a 16 up front. Not too shabby. One long line going into the 3.
Yeah, big line going into 3. These stage 1 still relatively early, so guys just trying to get a feel for things, seeing how their truck is. And I think a guy like Bowling, he probably has some damage. I'm not too sure if he did or not. Sometimes the damage can be a little wonky here. They're a little inconsistent, but it seems like he's doing okay. Going to try and make a move in his 16 truck, but I think maybe it would have obviously had a tight truck if he hit the wall like that, but when you're leading out front too, it's kind of weird, and it's been something that a lot of us have been picking up on is that when you're leading in a pack like this, you're much tighter than what you are when you're running the pack or running solo. It's almost like you get almost a little bit of dirty hair leading in a way. It's kind of weird, but if you're by yourself, the truck feels good, feels great. Leading in front of a pack, you definitely feel much tighter because everyone behind you is pushing you and you're going much faster to the corner. And since you're much faster, you have to slow the car down a little bit more and you're just a little bit tighter. But everyone else behind you in a pack, they're going to be a little bit looser for whatever reason. So something to keep note, see how these guys battle their way through traffic and how they end up controlling the field. You're going to see a lot of guys experience the difference from racing in a pack and then leading the pack. And I think Bolin may have had a little experience there just now.
It's absolutely possible. Rock, buddy, old pal, thank you very much for the 500 bits, sir. Always great to see you, man. You're a friend to so many.
Whoa!
And I absolutely, man.
3 wide.
Yeah, 3 wide for the lead. It looks like it's going to be the 99, if I'm not mistaken, down low. 38 in the middle, and that 19 of Cowboy up top. Looking at it all right now from the 16 of Classic Stu. Rick, they're keeping off each other. They're doing a hell of a job holding that line. Great example of track awareness.
Taking great care of each other and great care of the truck so far. Cadillac, Bowling, Cowboy, low, middle, high into the third corner. 99, 38, 19. They continue to dance, and now the 3 wide fight briefly goes to the second pack. The 19 of NNR Cowboy will get behind the 38 of Bowling. 2x2, 2 rows deep coming to the line. 99, 38 drag racing. It will be Cadillac just edging out the 38 truck. Now they cross this line, Pete. They've got less than 5 laps remaining before they have to come down pit road, and there's 11 to go in stage 1.
That is the sense of urgency. Coey out there in chat saying, come on, Cowboy. Pulling for his iRacing teammate over on the PSES side, which very, very soon NNR will be going iRacing. I believe February the 3rd is going to be the first time a whole group of us, if I'm not mistaken, there's almost 20 of us, that will be hitting the track and starting a very short 6-race schedule before we actually get to a middle-length 11-race season. And then after that's said and done, it's going to be, there's just the saying, balls to the walls, flat out racing. Over on the iRacing side, it's going to be a lot of fun. Good to be able to kick that off. I can't wait to pilot my number 8 truck around every single place we go to. It's been a long time coming. I'm going to step aside from the booth, and the one and only TN Balls will actually be picking it up once he gets back stateside in June.
Coming across this line, Pete, the 38 of Bowling now leads this race. Cadillac sits in second. Now you've got that 16 truck who makes his way into the 3rd position. That's Classic Stu, who wants to make his way through this points table, Pete, the 16 behind the 99 of Cadillac, while a couple of leaders have decided to come down pit road, most notably NNR Chevy.
Yep, Chevy down pit road. He's going to be the first one to duck on down. So he's excuse me. So he's going to be the first one to really burn a lap. But that put the 38 up front. He was able to maybe save just a little bit of gas when he got kind of kicked back a couple spots after it seemed like he got tight. But these top 2 right now, the 99 and the 38, that has been week in, week out. The 16 of Classic Stu, he's shown a whole lot of speed. 19 of Cowboy, he's been very, very fast. The 88 of TGM Beast, he's a winner this year. And of course, SWAT's sitting back there in about P6. We should see the rest of these leaders come very soon, but I didn't see a single one of them status going down that backstretch.
Sorry about earlier there. I didn't know how to respond to that, so I said cool, because that's pretty cool. But yeah, no, I don't. I think Chevy is trying to short pit. We saw that strategy be a little effective at Chicago last week, and similar to Chicago, tire wear isn't so much an issue. You're not going to see guys end up blowing a tire. It's not like Atlanta, so that won't be too much of a concern here. I think you're just going to see guys try different strategies in this first stage, see if they can pit a little earlier. And talk about strategy, speaking of Devil, the 38 signals down the backstretch, so he'll be pitting this time by. Gonna have to see if he has a good clean pit entry. We know he's had a little bit of a struggle on pit road in the beginning of the season when it came to entering the pit road. Atlanta comes to mind. Hits the brakes, and that looks pretty safe there. So he's gonna enter pit road at pit speed. Pit speed is 55 miles per hour. I would assume maybe taking 4 freshies for this pit stop and trying to fill up the fuel and make sure he doesn't have too much fuel. Don't want to be too slow, and he'll be off and away.
Rick James, I tell you what, expert racing's out there in chat saying that we talk about Rock NASCAR and how much we appreciate him for keeping up, keeping us up to date with everything that's going on around the NASCAR community, all the different leagues. Well, he just said that Rock is going to be joining him and Shadow. That's Shadow Racing. Unforgotten Shadow, the owner of Shadow Racing's league that just ended on Sunday, where King Mathers won a pair of tickets to Daytona in August. Well, he just said that Rock NASCAR is going to be joining him and Shadow on the podcast on the 29th. It's going to be a lot of fun on that episode. Guys and gals, I'm going to go ahead and put that link to his to Expert Racing's Twitch channel on the in the chat right now. Make sure you go on over, give the newest affiliate a big follow, and be sure to tune in for that podcast on the 29th. Always a lot of fun. Again, if you're a fan of any type of sport, specifically NASCAR for most of us, you're not going to want to miss it.
38 trucks still now leading this race in that F-150. Bowling actually sits in the second position. It's Classic Stu who's barely leading this one, and Bowling now gets away out of the second corner. So the fuel strategy works for truck number 38, but tip of the hat to Classic Stu, Pete. That 16 truck now sits in second after starting well outside of the top 5. It'll be, I believe, 4 to go this time by.
Yeah, the next time either Swats or Chevy or any of these guys, Bowling's also carrying an onboard tonight. Anytime one of those guys come across the stripe, we'll see exactly what it is we got. And with how spread out they are right now, Rick, I don't think we're really going to see much, but you were right on the ball. 4 laps to go.
Pete, so far the fuel strategy has been blown wide open. Now that Classic Stu in that 16 Tundra has broken through the ranks and stamped his own flag in the top 5, now other drivers are going to do the same and see what they can achieve with a little bit of trickeration. The 88 of Beast and the 19 of Cowboy battling side by side into turn number 3 and out of 4. 3 to go this time by, Pete, while the leaders have broken away. Still plenty of action through the field.
Oh, yeah. The 88 and 19 doing a pretty good job. Up ahead of them, you see the 51, the 3, I believe, excuse me, and one other 51-3 and the 99. You just mentioned Shad. As they come off that corner, 3 wide, a little bit of contact between the 99 and the 3, Lucky. 51 kept it down low. No harm, no foul to his truck. But 99 trying to, keep on that throttle. Everybody's on fresh tires. Why not push your luck? Try to grab what you can before the end of the stage.
Yeah, you want to try and make sure you maximize what you have and try to get as many stage points as you can, because those stage points are pretty important. Wanting to make sure that you have the best position possible entering the playoff season. You never know what can happen out in front. So obviously around here is when you start to need is when you need to start to get a little more aggressive. Try and be a bit smart with your moves, but start to keep pushing, try to get more points, because it could pay off quite a bit. When you think about it, you get third is better. I don't even know what I'm talking about. You just got to keep going as hard as you can. I'm just going to stop talking. I need to eat something. I'm going to get some cheese.
All right, you go grab some polio string cheese, young man. I don't know, dude. No, you're fine. Absolutely. Rick, 38 still leading. I'm kind of surprised that with these last 5 laps, nobody behind him really tried to team up on those freshies and try to run down second place or the leader. It just seems like they're all pretty contentious, kind of running single file, but not really pulling up on each other.
Pete, they're going to have to do something in stage number 2, especially Classic Stu. He's going to need a partner because he's proven he can get as close to the leader as anybody else. It's still a 3-second gap between second and third, while there's almost the similar gap between first and second. Stu holding his own here as the stage comes to a close. 38's going to win, 16 in second, Cadillac third, Chevy fourth, and Swats rounding out your stage 1 top 5.
So that's gonna be that's gonna be it. Swat's pretty good points for him. Ladies and gents, we're gonna take a quick 30-second break. Grab some kind of a cold beverage, and then we'll be right back. Please, by all means, keep it right here. If you are still watching out there in chat, thank you very much for being one of the biggest parts of NNR and your continued support for my channel. I absolutely appreciate you. I wouldn't be, I would still do this for fun, but it's always nice to know when someone's out there, keeping an eye, following you along. You actually care enough to either use your Twitch Prime or that $5. Thank you. Absolutely. Thank you. Rick James, we are loading them back up. Looks like this time the 3 won't be our control card. It's going to be the 38 of Bowling up front, the 16 to his outside, 99 is Shad, and that 19 is going to be our top 4. Going into turn 1 so far, this Crossley Ford is going to lead the way.
38-16, your top 2 as they were at the end of stage 1. Shad in the 99 has all the reason to try and get the 16 either right in front of him or get him right behind him. He needs that drafting partner, as we mentioned. The 3 of Chevy now starting to suck up to the back of the 16. Here goes the 99 of Shad. He's diving to the inside in 3.
Talk about, man, that was a great attempt by the 99. Had a little bit of a draft, tried to go ahead and pull it down low. Not quite able to do much, but will the 16 stay up there with the 38? Yes, he is. The 3 of Chevy's going to stay up there as well. But for the 99 down there all by himself, he's doing a pretty phenomenal job keeping right there with the leaders side by side behind the 38.
He's done a phenomenal job of hanging on to that truck as well, Pete. The 3 of Chevy got into him at the end of stage 1 and sent him up the track into the outside retaining wall. And here again in turn number 1, it looks like the 3 of Chevy lost control of their truck and nearly caused a wreck getting into the 99 once more. Shad now sits in 3rd with Beast 4th, and then the 24 truck of Krabby Soup rounding out the top 5.
Yeah, riding along right now with that 24 down low underneath the 88 of Beast. They've got the 19 of Cowboy right behind, side by side, excuse me, across the line, watching the top 3 duke it out. They are not staying put. Rick off of turns 1 and 2, 99 still digging on that bottom side. You've got to think that if he's really pushing that Carolina Nut Tundra that on that bottom side, that he's kind of wearing out those tires. Probably wants to move up the line just a little bit. Keep up. You don't have to be right there at that point. Everybody wants to lead, but if you can't do it just yet, there's no harm in falling back a spot or 2 to preserve what you've got for the long run.
A second separates the top 5, and as they cross the line, 37-16, 99, your top 3 with 24 laps to go, 3 wide and almost 4. Krabby Soup wants to join the action. 16, 38, 99, low, middle, high, down the back, 24, 88 joining the high side. The 99 of Shad gets almost a shove from the 24 into 3. Now back to 2 wide, 3 rows deep through the corners, Pete, and look at how much racetrack they're using. Drag race down the front.
Yeah, high, wide, and handsome is no issue whatsoever here around Auto Club. Now, Rick, we talked about this a little bit in pre-race as well. This is very possibly one of the last races that NNR will run here at Auto Club. Just like Chicago, this track is somewhat going away. It could be the last time that we race in this 2-mile configuration before they bulldoze this place, shorten it up. I think they're turning it into a what is it, like a 1.25 miles or 3/4 mile or something like that, short track, almost like another Martinsville, just shaped a little differently with a little bit of banking. Man, whoever wins this tonight, just like we mentioned at Chicago, they're going to have bragging rights for a very long time.
Pete, there is a new future coming in NNR and coming in esports as many of these leagues make the switch from console to iRacing. These drivers want to rack up every win they can. 22 laps remaining in this second stage. Shad making the most of the outside line, but Classic Stu in that 16 truck really holding his own as well, Pete, staying solid in that top 3. Shad now has a really strong run out of 4.
Yeah, Shad up high. He's got the 16 of Classic Stu, like you just mentioned. 88 of TGMBs, he's going to go high. So the Carolina Nut truck, he's got some help from behind. 16 of Classic Stu, he was just behind the 38 for a moment or two. So they are side by side, 2 rows deep with the 88 of Beast, just trying to figure out where to go. He's going to stay up along that wall, push this Carolina Nut truck way past the 38. Hopefully he doesn't push him beyond his comfort zone. Getting into 3 and 4, looks like the 99 is going to be able to dive down low. 38 down there below that white line. Don't get too loose. High side's going to prevail. Shad's going to go ahead and lead this lap.
But he won't have a push, Pete. The 88 of TGM Beast scraping the wall out of 4 and absolutely nixing that 3-truck draft they had moving. Shad now gives it a full send into 1 and clears the 38 of Bowling. Bowling putting all 4 tires and then some below the white line. It looked like an Indy race from the 80s, Pete. The 88 of TGM Beast now falling behind as the 38 of Bowling uses the draft to get right up to the 99 of Shadalak, almost giving the F-150 a touch. The 38 sends it in and cuts off the 88 of Beast. Look at the 38 of Bowling right to the grass. Then he's going as high as he can to maximize the racetrack and the exit speed out of 4. He overdid it just by a bit, Pete, but expect this 38 now to change his driving style. He's using every inch of the width at Auto Club.
Yeah,
I will say, I'm going to say this, I'm a little confused by the 38 truck here at Bowling. I mean, he's been running the apron here in 3 and 4, but from my personal experience, that apron is not really faster. If anything, it's slower. Transitioning to that apron just really doesn't give you much speed, and it may help your center of the corner speed, but in your exit, it really bogs down. It really bogs down the car, or in this case, the truck. So he's trying everything he can there. I try to keep the car above the white line. I think he'll have a better time trying to make some moves and really defend himself. I think he's just hurting his progression by only doing that.
Yeah, but one thing that you pointed out right there, Rick, about going all the way down and then coming all the way back up again, he's kind of straightening the curve, as the old Dukes of Hazzard song goes. That's exactly what it was. Coming on down, letting it ride all the way up to the wall, so you're not turning the wheel a whole bunch, scrubbing off that tire, scrubbing off speed, and you're able to hold as much as you can. But just like Lucky Dog said as well, with the 99 coming down, pinching the 38 to the bottom, he can't get back in the throttle to allow that truck to wash up so he can carry max speed. That's why the 99's been able to stay fast. Yes, he's had a little bit of help from Classic Stu, the 88 of Beast and whatnot as well, but the 99 has just had the preferred line, and he's able to keep that 38 behind him.
Pete, that 38 of Bowling gently floats to that inside line, and then he allows the truck to glide right up along the azure wall here at Auto Club. Think back to high school geometry, Pete. The shortest distance between 2 points, a straight line, as he leaves no space between his Ford F-150 and that bright white Auto Club. He brings it back down to the white line and then floats back up to the racetrack, making a straight line as much as possible between the entrance, the apex, and the exit of every corner. The only problem, Pete, you called it, the 99 of Shadalak. He now knows Bowling's strategy and cuts him off at any opportunity, as you would expect in a race. The 16 of Stu grinds up against that blue wall, but the 38 of Bowling, now as his F-150 waves lap upon the Auto Club retaining wall shore, is ready to crash into first.
Lucky Dog, you talked just a second ago about that apron. Depending on the series that we run, whether it's the trucks here, the Xfinity cars tomorrow night, or the Cup cars on Thursday night, which guys out there in chat, you want to catch those races 8:30 Eastern. You're not going to want to miss it. Please keep up with everybody, and all of them are going to be great races. But Lucky, you talk about your experience at this place. How much grip is actually down there for these trucks? Most of the time in the Cup cars, you go down there, you're going to get loose, you're going to loop it around. You've got no saving grace whatsoever. You're just saying, Jesus, take the wheel, and kind of hanging on for the ride. How much grip is down there for these trucks since they're a bit slower and a bit tighter?
Not a lot, really. I don't know why they're using it. From my experience, whenever I go down there, you want to do it because it's a shorter way around. But really, it just feels like the car pushes. It feels like the front of the car just wants to go straight when you go down there. It's definitely a change in banking. It feels like, how I think at Bristol is a good example when you're running on the gray part, then you go into the PJ1. And then it just feels like the cargo wants to go straight. You can't run down there. It's kind of what it feels like when you use the apron on here. It's just, these guys are using it, and fair play to them. I just can't. It just really, for me, it just seems like the slower way around the track. It just doesn't feel like there's a whole lot of grip down there. If you just keep running on the racing surface, that's just where all the grip is. Just running the low line, that's just the faster way around, above the white line, I should say.
Rick James, the newest broadcaster to join the NNR family, just checked in. Vols, good old, buddy, I tell you what, if you go back later on and you watch this race, if you weren't there for the beginning, they ran a bit of a three-wide salute for your stepdad and also for the stepmom of Mike T that normally runs here in the truck series as well. Vols definitely thinking about you, buddy. As always, man, you need anything, you need an ear or whatever, man. Please reach out to me. I know obviously you got your mom, you've got your missus, but you've got a lot of friends here, sir. Don't be afraid to come knocking if you need. We all got your back, buddy.
99 of Shadowlack leading into turn number 3. Pete, the 38 of Bowling, gives a little bit of a kiss to the outside wall and gently brings down the white truck to the white line, and now listing lazily to the right-hand side, making as much of the racetrack as he can. It's a difficult line, Pete, even for somebody who's got 6 wins in 12 starts like NNR Bowling. He has to get it perfect. One thing he can get perfect is his pit road entrance. There's going to be 10 to go next time by, and these trucks must come down for fuel and tires. Expect to see a scramble, and you might even see a couple of speeders.
Very, very possible. I actually just watched the 3 of Chevy get into the pits, and the way that he came to a complete stop, man, I don't know if he got caught speeding or what the case was, but it looked like the 99 and the 88, I believe that was the 88, just entered pit road, and under brake, that 99 was wicked loose, shaking that tailgate all over the commitment line. Excuse me. So we'll have to see if he got caught speeding. One way or another, though, Rick, he just handed the 38 the lead, but with the 99 able to go on in, as the 38 signals this time he's going to come in, 99 is going to be coming out on a fresh set of tires. 38's pretty wise to bring it in this time.
Bowling's going to come down this time by with 9 at the line. Car 99, Shadowlack, now coming down for tires and fuel, sitting at the end of his stall. Truck's not moving, Pete. That 99, there it is. Goodness me, I thought he got a speeding penalty, but I was being a bit apprehensive. There comes the 88 of Beast right alongside Pete. These trucks still hooked together out of the exit, but will they be able to draft together and stay ahead of Bowling? 8 to go next time by.
8 to go next time by. Right now riding along with the 51 Tundra, Rowdy Machine of NNR SWATs. He's got the 19 just ahead, going to try to latch on to the draft from those guys to pull himself up. Everybody now out there on 4 freshies. Now riding along with the 99. He's still got the 88 of Beast right behind him. We'll have to see just how much those tires are going to mean, where he comes past the exit of pit road, where the 38 is. Looks like they are on the exit road. There goes the 16. There's the 38. The 99 is going to have a very, very clear lead as 38's just about ready to merge. 99 on by. He's going to keep that lead even after pit stop.
It's not going to be enough, Pete. The 99 of Shad just ahead of the 88 of Beast, but the 38 of Bowling crucially still within the wake of their draft. Truck 24, Krabby Soup, still currently your leader at the line. Silverado, F-150, F-150, but now the 38 of Bowling has to give chase to the 99 and the 88. Will the 24 truck be a pick for the 38 of Bowling? 7 to go next time by.
Lucky, it looks like the 24 was able to just maintain his line. The 99 and the 88, both on those newer tires, able to go on down. So they're going to go ahead and pick the lead back up. Now the 38, he's got the draft of the 24 of Krabby Soup. Top 3 all within a touch of each other with this normal draft setting. Now 24 goes high, 38's going to go on by. I think he's all but lost the draft. And going into 1 and 2, it looks like the 88 and the 99 are just content sharing max points between themselves. They know they've got to keep that 38 behind them.
Yeah, they're very well aware that the 38 has a lot fresher tires than both of them, so they want to try and pull away as best as they can by working together. And I mean, technically, their teammates. They're both Thor Sport trucks, so I mean, you kind of have to work together in that sense. But yeah, the 24 Krabby Soup didn't have such a great race last week in Chicago, but seeing him towards the top 5 once again. Good to see him running up towards the front. But yeah, going back to pit road though, I mean, this pit road, it looks deceiving. It looks pretty easy, but when you're going from, I don't know how fast you're really going in the corner, but you have to really, I think, let's just say 170 in the corner, then trying to slow it all the way down to 55. It's really hard, and the back end tends to snap out pretty easy. So it's a really challenging pit road because you want to maximize that braking point as best you can, but sometimes you may overstep that boundary and end up finding yourself speeding into pit road or spinning into pit road. So these guys have all done a great job entering the pits, and seeing that 38, you know, that fresher tires are really helping him. He's really gaining on TGM Beast in that 99 of I forgot Shadowlock. There you go. Sorry, I had a little blank there. Rick
coming to 5 actually as they cross the line. I believe that's going to be 5 laps to go, and man, I'm a little bit out of it. I apologize. Forgot one of the graphics. Yes, we are coming to the end of stage number 2. 99's got the lead all to himself. 88 to TGM Beast. Now he's got the 38 to his inside. Rick, has the 38 just been kind of setting these guys up, or do you think he's actually got anything for the 99? He's been strong. I don't see him reeling him in 5 laps.
Pete, that depends on how hard the 99 wants to finish this race. The 38 with 1 lap fresher tires means he's got 1 more golden lap where he can throw this truck into the corners. And if Bowling gets his trajectory correct through 1 and through 3, he can get a whiff of the draft and get behind Shadowlack. It'll be 3 laps remaining next time by, and the 38 goes incredibly high, almost hitting the wall. If Bowling can nail these next 6.5 miles, he'll be your stage 2 winner.
Yeah, and Bowling absolutely needs every point that he can get. You know, the 16 took max points in stage number 1 with the 38 right behind. Now, you know, it seems like Shad over the last several weeks has really been applying the heat, and right now, he's got Bowling right behind him. So he's trying for max points, but if Bowling keeps scoring in second place, irregardless of who grabs the stage win, he's still gonna grab a whole lot of points each and every race. And everybody that's out there on track right now, I think Swat said in pre-race, is eligible for the playoffs because of attendance. I believe that you've got to miss 6 or 7 races, something like that, before you're no longer playoff eligible, but you can still run. Tenacious Z, he was out there in chat earlier. He was, he wishes that he was going to be able to run tonight, but he had to work. We say it all the time, Rick. Life and and family first. NNR's not going to pay your bills. This is a game. It's meant to be fun, but at the end of the night, we're all competitors. you want to try to say, you know what, I was there at the end of the season for an NNR championship, which is not, they don't come around too often. Everybody wants to win in this series. Arguably, the best on Xbox for Heat 5. So we'll have to see.
99 coming across this line, Pete. Every point does matter, despite the fact that Bowling has won 50% of the races he's entered this campaign. It's only a 54-point gap back to Truck 99. So the 38 must maintain the pressure, because one more missed race could make the difference between first and second in the points. TGM Beast sits 138 markers back of the leader, and he now is clawing up to third as well. So it's going to be a great points day for the top three, but at this stage of the season, no mistakes can be made. 99 wins the stage, 38 second, 88 third.
Yeah, Combat Beast out there in chat saying 38 is tight. So Rick, the people out there, watching the stream, able to see the exact same thing that we see, and they're all doing the best they can. One more time, quick commercial break. Let's go to NNRLeague.com. Let's visit that Zazzle store. Talk to you about those pretty fast mugs.
Hey NNR fans, are you looking for a way to rep your favorite NASCAR Heat preset league on Xbox Live? Look no further. Just go to NNRLeague.com, scroll down to the Zazzle tab, and see what we have to offer. From t-shirts to hoodies to clocks, we have everything you need to show your support. Thanks for being the best fans, and we hope to see you at the track repping that NNR red.
All right, welcome back, everybody. These guys got about 10 seconds before they're all racked and stacked back up to start stage number 3. So we'll go ahead and get that decal out there for you right now. More Than a Cape checking in from behind the wheel saying, what's up, Vols? Again, Vols, everybody out there thinking of you, hoping that, keep your head up, buddy. You got to be strong for your family. You know that we're all here for you. We all got you. Let's go back to racing here, Rick.
99 leads into 1, the 38 of Bowling to his outside. Beast in the 88 sitting third. Classic Stu right behind him, and the 24 of Krabby Soup can mount a run from the 5th position. Down the backstretch, 99, 38 nose to tail. 3 Fords in your top 3, Pete. 64 of 135 laps underway in stage 3.
Rick, Commando Griff just asked out there in chat, is there a place I can get some golf balls to take a few strokes off my game? Why would he be asking that during an NNR race?
Pete, I have no earthly clue, but where you can go, Griff, is NNRLeague.com for what I can say are the best golf balls that I have personally never used in the game of golf. NNRLeague.com, not only for the best golf balls in golf, but the fastest mugs in racing, the coziest sweaters in motorsports. NNRLeague.com. Jim Coey says, because we have golf balls, sarcastically. Coey, maybe you should. NNRLeague.com, soon to feature the best golf balls in esports racing best golfing.
Absolutely. Yeah, there's packs of 3 and others as well. But yeah, like Rick James just said, there's hoodies, there's polos, there's sweatshirts, there's t-shirts, there's license plate covers, there's flags you put on your car window. I mean, there's bumper stickers, there's refrigerator magnets, there's all kinds of stuff. Go on over NNRLeague.com. Scroll on over to the Zazzle tab. I believe it's under the home menu, and look around. And if you check there often enough, on certain days you might find it where there's 15% off, 20% off, even up to 50% off. You're going to want to check in, and like I said, check in often. Always all kinds of NNR swag. And like my buddy Mountain always says, we want to see you at the track repping your NNR red, much like what you see on the front of this hat. Coey, I got your message, buddy. My bad.
Into the third corner, 99 leading, but now the 38 of Bowling takes a back seat to fourth. Pete, this is the lowest we've ever seen him during a non-pit stop cycle in the racing order. Now with a little bit of draft help moves into third, but the 99 of Shadilak conducting this race quite well from the top of the tree. Pete, fastest mugs and breakfast too at nnrleague.com. I don't know if anyone told you.
Yeah, fastest mugs and breakfast. By the time you get done with your eggs, the coffee's in the mug, it's staying hot, you're good to go. And as soon as your coffee is done, you got to head out to work. Well, you can go ahead and put one of your NNR League masks on as well. Coey just said even have masks. So NNR is trying to protect you from all this COVID crap. That way we can all get back to the track like we say at the end of every race. Please, please, please wear your mask, ladies and gents. Lucky top four kind of breaking away from fifth place. That's going to be, I believe it's going to be the 51 of Swats. A lot of separation between our top 10 right now. Nope,
yeah,
there's
there's
going to be
definitely
the 24 Krabby Soup,
going
my
on
bad.
right now. And whilst we're under that little break there, Bowling made a pretty big mistake off 4, and it seemed like even in traffic, he's still having some issues with the tightness of the truck. But he's worked his way back up from 5th to 2nd. Going to try and scroll through the field right here. Swats is all the way in the back right there. Krabby Soup is quite a ways away behind this front pack here, and which has TGM Beast part of it, and so does the 16 of Classic Stew. So those top 4 trucks have pulled away by quite a bit over the 24, who is in 5th place. So it just shows how strong those 4 trucks really are. And yeah, other than that, really spread out. But I think at this point, it's still stage 3, and you want to be in this position, like where the top 4 are at, but you really don't want to push the envelope too much. You don't want to keep overdoing yourself. You kind of want to save what you have to the very end. And that's when we're going to see these guys start to race each other a little bit harder.
Rick, do you think the 99 has kind of figured out what the 38 has and he's been able to kind of keep him at bay? Or do you think the 38's just saying, you know what, buddy, as he pushes him flat into turns 1 and 2, I mean, he was literally all over his trailer hitch, sending him into the corner. 99's going to be able to wash back up the wall. 38's going to recollect him right there. 88 of TGM Beast and the 16 of Classic Stew, they're going to keep right there. But Rick, what I'm really surprised at, unlike stage number 1 and stage number 2, how quick they got separation from each other. It looks like they just came out of a green flag pit stop, and they literally just took the green, 10, 12 laps ago?
Pete, they're making fantastic time so far. The 99 and the 38 have been controlling this race all evening long. There's 64 laps remaining in stage number 3. So we'll see what game they're playing at, but plenty of race to go and still a few pit stops on order.
Go ahead, Lucky, what you got, bud?
Sorry, that was something on my end there. The Discord audio was really, really glitchy, and there was a big pause, and I didn't know if you were asking that to me. My bad, but yeah, I was going to say, pretty much those top 4 guys were really strong, and I'm just going to shut up.
Oh, I tell ya. Lucky, I might as well ask you, since Combat Beast out there in chat said he actually just got his NNR hat today as well. I know you got one for winning the All-Star race. What'd you think of your hat? How's it fit? Look all right?
Comfy. Yeah, it's really good. I've been wearing it outside the house, and it's really good. It feels good on my head, and I have a big head of hair, so to have a hat that actually fits my head for once is actually pretty encouraging. So yeah, it's really good. I love it.
Rick James, an Italian guy that says that he's got a big head of hair. Does that make any sense to you? Never mind.
I'm sure it's a comfortable hat, Pete. 73 laps complete now at Auto Club Speedway.
And try to throw you off, but yeah, absolutely. 99, 23, 99 trying to get past 23, 38 right there in draft. Classic Stew was able to depose the 88 to take P number 3. Getting a little bit of a fight from this guy that wants to stay on the lead lap.
Pete, it's good to see a little bit of life in these markers that want to stay on. While the 13 of Garrett has been overtaken, the 19 of Cowboy won't be finishing this race. My man, More Than a Cape in truck 23, is trying to hang on to the very tail end of the lead lap, but the 99 of Shadowlack will overpower him, and you'll get two F-150s going around the outside. But the 23 of Cape is hanging on, resilient as ever, Pete. We're inside 10 laps to those pit stops.
Yeah, 23's got all kinds of pit road lag damage on the front of his machine. Able to drop in right behind the 99. 38's going to fall back just shy of Cape. Now looking underneath, and they are 2 by 2 coming off 4.
Out of this fourth corner, 99 leads, 38 in second, truck 23 right in front of the 88 of TGM Beast, and the laps wind down. 99 still leads, and the pit strategy, Pete, is going to be interesting here. 59 to go next time by, and the easy math says they're going to have approximately 2 more pit stops to the end, but of course, there's always the opportunity for a driver to save fuel and maybe kind of game it to the end, but it's difficult here, Pete. If anything, I think these trucks are going to work together more than against each other all the way to the final 10.
Absolutely. Lucky, it's really going to be interesting. We're not seeing the 99 pull away. We're not seeing the 38 pull away. We see them pull away now just a little bit when they're racing or nose to tail at the 16, 23 of Cape, which is now a lap down, and the 88 back there. But the front two, nose to tail, obviously quite a bit faster, as third and fourth place had to fight around Cape. Little bit of separation now. I think this really could come down to pit road and whose tires will stay on the longest and whose tires stay consistent the longest. Lucky, did we lose you, buddy?
Yeah, you did. So I heard something about tires, but I think when it comes to this track here, there is definitely a difference in tires in terms of pitting early and pitting late. Maybe a lap can definitely help, but if you pit 2 laps before, it's going to definitely hurt you over the long haul. Definitely set you back a little bit in terms of fuel strategy. But if you pit 2 laps later, you may fall a bit too far behind from everybody else, and it's going to take you quite a while. Well, it's going to make your task much harder to try and catch these guys who pitted earlier than you. But those fresher tires should definitely help you out in the end. And you don't really want to try and use your stuff up too much, even though tire wear isn't such a huge problem. You still want to make sure that you have the tires on it to have good grip, because you don't want to overheat it. It's another big issue. If they start to overheat a little bit, your truck will definitely be a handful.
Yeah, Rick James, first and second, tandem drafting. Third and fourth, tandem drafting. 24 of Krabby Soup back there all by his lonesome, long way back to P number 6. If he can hold on to that, grab a top 5 out of this with how many fast trucks there are, this could be a pretty good night for him as well. I'd love to see that 24 get up into the mix, either through that dreaded caution word or when maybe have a great pit stop, maybe try a little bit of strategy depending on what his right sides look like. Maybe only take rights, take a can, depending what we got. It is the last stage, so they're not racing to a stage break lap. They're racing to the end now.
Tandem is going to be the word for the rest of this race. That seems to be how these leaders are going to get around the quickest. Expect the 99 and the 38 to come down together next time by. They're going to need those drafting partners, as the 16 of Stu and the 88 of Beast have a stronger literal connection at the bumpers. 54 to go next time by, and these pit stops are going to get wild.
Yeah, pit stops are absolutely going to get wild, and I'm actually driving on board right now, or looking at one of our onboards. It's the 3 of Krabby, and as I try to pick him up, he had 1 lap to go, a lap and a half ago. So as he's coming down the backstretch, yeah, there you go. He's going to go ahead and dip on down below the white line. I'm hoping that he's going to have enough gas to make it in. That might have been why he just got into the 51. He might be sputtering as both him and Swat's going to bring it on down pit road. That was very, very sketchy between those two for just a moment.
Yeah, that was the 3 of Chevy. Chevy right there was just in front of the 51 of Swats, and seems like he actually got a jump on the 51 there. Actually, I'm in a different camera view. I think the 51's in the pits already, but 3 had a really good entry into the pits there, and it's he was definitely getting pretty close on the field, and it looks like he's gonna try to not make it too close on the field. Maybe try and save a little bit more in this next stint.
Yep, try to save a little bit more. 55 laps remaining, and on a full tank of fuel, they get 17 laps. So 17, 17, 34. So we're still looking at least 1 more to go. Pulling out with the 88 of TGM Beast. He could see the 38. He could see the 16. Now a little bit more of a gap between the 88 and the 16 as they try to pair back up. The 16 may be looking at the back end of that truck, or he might be breathing that throttle just a little bit in order to pick the 88 back up. 88 back to the 24 of Krabby, just about the same distance they were, Rick, before that round of pit stops.
Now it's up to 3rd, 4th, and 5th to work together, Pete. The only chance they're going to have is if the 16 allows the 88 and the 24 to make a 3-truck train. Right now, there's 4 seconds between 1st and 5th, but it's only a 2.5-second gap between 3rd and 5th. If Classic Stew, TGM Beast, and Krabby Soup can get nose to tail, they can overtake these top 2. But for now, Bowling and Shadowlack aim to pull away from the remaining 3.
Absolutely. One very, very big shout out. Cape just kind of put out there in chat, I guess he's done for the night. The man started a new job. He wanted to try to stay racing with NNR for as long as he possibly could, but had to pull it on over, head to work for 1 o'clock in the morning. So I'm actually kind of surprised that he was still here, being what time is this now? Almost 11 o'clock. Cape, if this was truly your last race here in NNR, regardless of the series, I know we're still going to see you over on the iRacing side, buddy. Thank you. We will talk about that car that you want to raffle off, much like you did the Chase Elliott diecast. And we'll talk to you again soon, buddy. Thank you very much for everything that you've done. morethancape.org. Guys, go on over if you can, whenever you can, as often as you can, and give towards a phenomenal cause. I'll actually go ahead and put the link out there in chat right now. Do your best you can to help the families fighting pediatric cancer. Again, be more than a Cape. Go on over. Cape, thank you very much.
99 really trying to... Sorry, Dan, go ahead.
No, go ahead. Never mind.
99 squeezing the pressure to the 38, Pete. The 24 of Krabby Soup falling well off the pace now. So now it's 2 trucks versus 2 trucks. And 3rd and 4th still have yet to get back together. The 88 of TGM Beast getting closer to the 16 of Classic Stew, while Krabby Soup is out on an island by himself. 49 laps to go next time by, Pete. And these trucks really need to work together.
Lucky, I think you were just about to say something. Before you do, Rick, this is, or Lucky, this seems like it's an every week thing. It's kind of like the Clash of the Titans. You would think with how well Shad is running that he's got just as many wins as the 38, but not quite the case. 38 able to, keep the 99 at bay, but we've seen this before. 99 could just be, sizing him up, seeing where his weakest was. Earlier in the race, his weakest point was getting through the corner. The 99 was able to keep Bowling at bay. We'll have to see what happens here within the next 50 some odd laps. They came across the line that time, still nose to tail. 1 more pit stop to go. That could be the difference maker, Lucky.
Yeah, I was just gonna say thank you to Cape for all that he's done for this series, and unfortunate that this is gonna be his final race, and hope that he experiences some even bigger and greater things here in NNR, especially the iRacing League, and hope he continues to interact with everyone here and here on the console side. And that's all I was gonna say, honestly. But yeah, you definitely look at Shadowlack, and yeah, it's just all about execution, really. It's you have the pace. Pace is one thing, but it's all about race execution as a whole. And I think Lat's a perfect example of it. He had a great truck. He definitely won stage 1. Don't recall if he won stage 2, but had led a lot of laps, and then ended up speeding under pit road, and ended up finishing, I believe it was in 8th. And then Bowling went on to win the race. So it's stuff like that. Those tiny little mistakes he's got to limit, and he'll be right there running in front for the lead. And also, Bowling's just a really great driver, so you have to bear in mind, those two little factors. But just limiting those mistakes and just not letting the race get away from you, I think is what was really preventing Shadowlack from increasing that win count.
Well, Rick, it looks like the 88 and the 16 have found each other. You mentioned that the 16 was really tracking down Beast in a hurry. He's been on his bumper. Now he's back off his bumper again. I'm wondering if he's used up every bit of the good part of those Eagle feel goods, and now it's kind of dropping back while the 88 has really just been running his line. First and second still continue to push. Third and fourth got about a truck to a truck and a half length between the two. At times seems like a little bit more than that, but from there on back, it's wide open.
Wide open, and these trucks can still get together and cause a little bit of damage if they can link up, Pete. The 16 and the 88 have all the work to do, while Beast is in third. He's finally got Classic Stu behind him in the 16, so now they can work together, Pete. However, we've got probably about another 10 to 11 laps before the next set of pit stops, so the 88 and 16 are looking to gain time through the pit stop cycle as well. They don't need to get there in the next 10 laps. So with 44 to go next time by, the 88 and the 16 now begin the hunt for the top 2.
Yeah, they've got to try to do everything that they can. They've got to try to beat him getting onto pit road, beat him by getting off of pit road by jamming through the gears as quick as they can. Let him wind out a little bit more. Let him, build up just a little bit more HP and get going. But there is a huge gap between these two as we see a little bit of mud or a little bit of dirt getting thrown up going through the grass at the start stripe. Not quite sure who that was, but somebody's misfortune. We're going to stay green. That makes it even worse because whoever that was just lost a ton of time.
Yeah, they definitely lost a lot of time there. You don't want to be on the grass or on this track. And you don't want to be in the grass anywhere. I'll tell you what, I've been in there quite a few times, and it is very slick. Not a lot of grip down there. But yeah, I mean, those working together really well, and I would hope they would, because they're two of the fastest trucks out on the track, and the mindset they have is just got to keep pushing each other, trying to build that gap so that later in the race they can do whatever they want, race as hard as they can. So obviously the strategy, that is a strategy, the right strategy, I should say. Sorry, I can't get my words out, but yeah, 38 is continuing to lead more laps, but by doing something, he's much better than not leading, albeit there's one car behind him as well. The 99 really sent it in on entrance to 3, but it seems like his car is a little bit better, not as tight. But the 99 is where's Wito leading out in front of the field. The 99 is burning up his stuff a little bit more, a little tighter. 99 is able to see where he's good, where he's strong, and also with that draft too, if he were to make a move, he can do it out the end of the straightaway, try and build up a run, and off and then trying to pass him on the inside or outside or wherever. So it's a good opportunity for the 99 to really learn more about the 38 and how he's maneuvering around this racetrack.
Rick, it seems like the 99's been trying to undercut the 38 getting into the corner, trying to maybe find just a little bit of clean air, maybe find a little something extra for that Carolina Nut Tundra. He's got this Crossley Ford in his sights. He's been right there. This has been his view for just about a full fuel stop. We're knocking on just about 40 to go when they come across the line next time by, and it looks like we got a little bit of a battle for the lead here. Is the 38 finding out that he's got to save, or did he just cook that corner? We'll have to see. Coming off, Cadillac back to the lead.
38 still giving chase down the back, 99 leading, and he's got that 38 F-150 of Bowling right behind him. You're looking at second and first in the points, first and second on the track out of turn 4. 38 now widening that exit as much as possible, giving a bit of a gap to the 99, Pete. It looks like the 38 is almost testing just how powerful the draft is. Perhaps he could be practicing for some last lap passes.
We've seen this guy come back a few times on fresh tires, run them down, and do what they got to do. If they got to pit, I said it would be, they were getting 17 laps on a full tank of fuel. As the 3 comes across the line that time, we got 39 to go of what's left of this 135 lap race. When they come down pit road that last time, they're not going to need a full tank of fuel. They're going to be able to come on out, and maybe somebody gambles just right sides, only take the fuel they need, come on out, try a little bit of strategy. It could be shaping up for that. If I'm not mistaken, Rick, they're only going to have about 11 laps to go when they pit their final time.
Absolutely, Pete. So fuel strategy is going to be absolutely crucial. We've seen Bowling do some magical things, but 11 laps just is quite literally in the realm of impossible. So expect him to save as much as he can, but 11 laps is just asking way too much for that 38. He is lagging quite a ways back, so perhaps he's using the draft and almost running the straight at 3/4 throttle to save as much as possible, so when the time comes, he can beat the 99 through the pit road delta.
Very, very possible. It's going to be very interesting to see how it all shakes out when those two pit, if they decide to pit together. Earlier we saw Cadillac go down 1 lap before the 38. I'm not quite sure what happened with the 38 the next time by in stage number 2, but you just mentioned a little bit of a gap now between the 99 and 38. 38 absolutely laying back, or he got very, very tight at the end of his last run. Is he getting tight again? Is he not able to turn that truck in? And here comes that 88.
The 88 of Beast now catching up to the 38 of Bowling coming out of turn number 2. Now the 88 signaling he's going to come down pit road. The 38 certainly holding back, trying to save something, but he's not going to save 11 laps, Pete. So Bowling either just taking it easy, resting for a bit, but staying in the draft of the 99. So many possibilities. And even after this, Pete, they'll have another pit stop.
Yeah, very many possibilities. During that entire time that the 99 is Cadillac, which is now our current leader, all those times that he was behind the 38, pushing him into the corner, was he pushing him beyond the limits of his tires and not able to control it? Now 38 is going to come on by. Is the 99 out? No, okay. I thought maybe the 99 was out of fuel, shaking it back and forth. Could it possibly be? He is very, very slow. And the reason I say that, could he be out of fuel? It looks like the 3 car is Chevy. He's on limited fuel. He's on fumes. This 99 is out. Heartbreaking, Lucky. Sorry.
No, not at all, Pete. Massive heartbreak. That 99 in a world of hurt. And now with 35 to go at the line, truck 99 is up against every odd you can imagine. Heavy damage to the back of that truck, Lucky.
Yeah, apologies there. Another just bugging in and out. But yeah, the 99, tough heartbreak, and it's those mistakes that I keep mentioning that he needs to learn from. It's getting closer and closer towards playoff season. He cannot be making those mistakes during the playoffs. It'd be very unacceptable unacceptable for him to be making those kind of errors. It's just something always happens to him in the third stage, and I'm not so sure. I don't know how. I mean, that's why the 38 kind of went behind him. He kind of gave up the lead there. He's like, okay, I'll just ride behind you, see what I can learn, try to save a little bit of fuel there. And I don't know why he didn't pick up that. I don't know why. I don't know, maybe he was in the field behind the 38. I'm just confused with that mindset there.
Rick, I'm riding along right now with the 88 of TGMBs. He's got that Crossley machine up ahead. He sees the 16 as well. I think that's a Crossley machine, or that might be the all-white Chevy for Pop Bear going across the line right now. Gonna work my way through. Nope, it actually is the 38 of Bowling, and he's got Classic Stu right in his rear view, going through 1 and 2, both on fresh tires. I'm wondering, did Stu make up that much time getting onto pit road that 1 lap or 2 sooner than the 38 and made up that much ground? That's a pretty phenomenal run. Not only did he pass the 88, but he passed the 99, which had a problem, and pulled right to the back bumper.
99 sent it down into turn number 3. Pete Shadilak now trying to make up whatever he can, but this mission for truck 99 just became much, much harder. Back to the front of this one, Bowling leads this race with 33 laps to go, but now Classic Stu is a foe for the 38. Bowling scrapes the wall, struggles to maintain control of that truck. 16 gets around him into 3.
Yeah, I'm going to try to get back up to that 38 right now. Take a look at that right front if I can. Don't see much damage from that angle. Don't really see anything from overhead. I think he might be all right. No real issues. It looks like the hood pins are all pretty straight. If there's anything, might just be a little bit of cosmetic damage to the right front. But yeah, we got our first new leader that's not a 99 or a 38 up front. Classic Stu, P1.
Classic Stu doing a great job leading here in that 16 Toyota Tundra. Saw him have some good moments last week at Chicago, and he's carrying it over to here at Auto Club, doing a very nice job getting himself out in front. That 38 was just sizing himself up, trying to build up that energy, try to learn more about the draft, see where that 16 truck is weak. It's the first time the 16 truck has been leading all race long. Here comes the 38 down to the inside of the front stretch here. They're side by side.
Yeah, Rick, I think the 16 said, you know what? I'm here. I led a lap. Okay, whatever. No big deal. I'm just going to tuck right back in behind you, keeping the draft. You go ahead and pull me to the next pit stop, and we'll see what happens there. But with the 16 coming in 1 lap or 2 sooner than the 38, will he actually be 1 lap short? It's going to be interesting to see what happens with the 16, with the 38. Can the 99 pull a little bit of magic? Maybe meet up with the 88 or the 24? There's so much that can play out. Will we see a caution? We've only had 1 manual caution in this race. There's 30 laps left here at Auto Club.
38 leads, but the 16 of Classic Stu now using the draft to save resources coming around this track, Pete. What will the 16 have for truck 38? Will Bowling have the tires and fuel to hold off the 16? Krabby Soup sits 10 seconds adrift, 3rd, 4th, and 5th, separated by less than 1 second.
Yeah, riding along with that 99 of Shadilak you were just talking about, right behind that Hooters Chevy Silverado for Krabby Soup, and he's got the 88 of TGM Beast right in his rear view as well. He's going to try to ride around the outside. 24 almost looked like he might have got a little loose. The 88 had to, a little bit of a defensive driving, so he didn't get knocked up the track, but 99 able to grab both spots, and he's already pulled away since turns 3 and 4. Big gap back to the 88 and 24 now.
38-16, still the class of this one, and you called it, Pete. The gap back to the 24 and the 88 just monstrous. Shadilak is a man on a mission, and if the caution comes out in these final fewer than 30 remaining, Pete, the 38 and 16 will be sweating bullets. The 24 holding his own. The 88 of Beast losing the plot as the 13 truck gets around him. Not sure what Beast is up to, but Shadilak is now coming with 28 laps remaining.
Yeah, Shad, he's got a lot to prove. He says, man, I could get up there, I could race with you, I could pass you, I could take the lead, I could lead laps. He knows what his truck is like in clean air. He's got a whole lot of clean air right now until he catches back up, if he can. Pretty good race behind them, though, between that 24, the 13, and the 88. I think that's probably about the closest of any of these trucks. The limited field that started this race got a little bit smaller once Cape either lagged out or had to leave to get ready for work, and also the 19 of Cowboy, which had a pretty promising start to the race tonight.
Yeah, Cowboy had a promising start here and was doing a good job, but I think it's kind of similar to Shadilak in a way. He has some good stages where he runs up front there, but then there's just something that happens to him in stage 3 or that last half of the race that just puts him back, whether it's a speeding penalty or an incident with another car. He definitely has good speed. I think just once again, it's having the full package, really just having everything needed to maintain that track position. And I think that's what has been happening to him, unfortunately. But the 99 is making up a lot of time here. It's gonna be pretty tough. He's quite a ways away behind, but you never know what can happen here. Caution can come out, but caution's been a rarity in this series. So we'll see how that 99 recovers from this.
Yeah, Rick, one caution in the last 3 races, other than the stage break. So extremely rare. But then again, a field that size at a track this big, you're going to get some separation, and most of these drivers, they're just trying to run qualifying laps while trying to still maintain or keep their tires under them. Definitely appreciate everybody that just joined. This is the NNR Truck Series live from Auto Club. Probably one of the last times you'll see NNR other than the Xfinity or the Xfinity or the Cup races over the next couple of nights. But yeah, we're not quite sure if this configuration is going to go away from the next game, and they're going to have the new track that they're building right now. But welcome, glad you guys are out there.
24 of Krabby Soup holding his own, now trying to get behind that 88 truck of Beast. Not sure if Beast has fallen off or he's just trying to save some fuel to the end here, given that he's got one more pit stop. Pete, it'll be impressive to see how far these guys can go and if they've saved enough fuel between these 2 stints to make some sort of difference. I can tell you that Beast is certainly on some sort of conservation strategy. The 24 of Krabby Soup easily gets around him.
Yeah, 24 up high, 88 down low, going down the backstretch. 24 up against the wall. 88 is going to kind of go ahead and duck on in and just maybe save just a little bit. Excuse me. I don't know where the 88 pit last time as he dives on down the apron. Might be trying to make up just a little bit of time on that 24. Maybe didn't like that the 24 got by him. But, man, going down on the apron like that, talking about the grip we referred to earlier, he made a bunch of headway on that Hooters tailgate. Going to continue to work through the field. Looks like okay. No, I was worried here. Looking at the 16, it looks like Classic Stu is in. So on lap 113 of 135, that is gonna. He can't make it from here. Stu is in very early. He must have burned a lot of fuel, Rick.
A lot of fuel indeed, Pete. We'll have to see what kind of strategy is at play here. The 88 of Beast back on it. Meanwhile, the 16 of Classic Stu well off the pace. Some of these guys might be trying to save a monumental load of fuel, while the 38 of Bowling continues to putter around in the first position.
Yeah, Bowling now with Classic Stu gone down pit road. He is out here all by his lonesome. No 99 up his tailpipe to worry about. No 16 in his rear view, trying to occupy real estate on his tailgate. He is all by himself. Nobody behind as you look back. Nobody up front. He's got a whole lot of track position that he can work with. He can drop back a little bit if he wants to. He can pull forward a little bit if he wants to. If he saw the 16 pull off and go down pit road, knowing how many laps he can go on a tank of fuel, he knows that Krabby can't go the rest of the way. This is going to completely shake up the top 3 at the end of the race.
The dreaded fuel strategy, shaking things up once again here in NNR. We saw that, I don't want to say fuel strategy, but something like that, I think, happened a little bit last week, but also Gateway 2 weeks ago. We saw more tire strategy, and how Bowling pulled that strategy out of the hat and then winning by quite a long way, I think almost a lap. So once again, it's just going to be down the fuel strategy. And man, I'll be honest, you got to hate to see races turn out that way. You want to see guys racing hard. You don't want to see guys, putting into fuel gear or whatnot, or neutral. It's kind of annoying once in a while, but that's just how racing is sometimes. Things just happen spur of the moment there, and that's what you got to do. That's what you got to do. But yeah, 38's been doing a great job all race long and just keeping on top of everything. But man, that fuel, it's getting. If I was any of these other drivers, I'd be getting pretty annoyed at the fuel strategy. It's got to be a pain.
Rick, I saw a few of the other drivers, like the 51 and the 88, go on by the 24. He was all the way down on the apron on the backstretch, heading into turns, all the way through 3 and 4, and his motor was still running. It didn't sound like he was out, unless that's, I don't know, Lucky, maybe you could tell me, if you run out of gas, does the game still give you the motor sound if you're in spectator mode? But it looked like he was out of gas, but as he pulled into his pit stall, the motor was still running. 3 cars Chevy, he's going to bring it on down pit road right now as well. So the final pit stop is underway. 19 laps to go. As Chevy comes across the line, it's going to be 18, so he's right on the mark. He could run out right when he's getting to the line, depending on how much gas he spends coming down. But Rick, here's our leader, 38 down pit road, with Pop Bear right up his trumpet, as you'd like to say.
17 laps to go, and that's exactly how much fuel these trucks have in the tank. 17 laps. So Bowling can now go the distance, as can any other truck that's pitting with him, but he cannot drive as fast as he wants, Pete. It's going to take a bit of conservation. That special C word. The 99 of Shadowlack, who could be off pit strategy a bit, did come down last lap. So Shadowlack also has fuel saving to do, Pete. It's the 38's race to lose, but does he have the fuel to control his destiny?
We'll have to see. Got eyes on Shadowlack. He just came across that start stripe heading into turn 1 and 2, and if the 16 and the 24 both had issues, that's going to open up a world for the 99. He might actually still have a shot at P number 2, depending on what happens here in these final laps. As the 3 of Chevy comes across the line, 17 laps remaining. He's got 16 laps in the tank, so he's going to have to save just a little bit, while some of these other guys that just exited pit road, they can go the rest of the difference. All these guys are on the same gear. They just started the race with different presets. Lucky, without being able to modify the gears in a slider race, what can make people burn as much as 1 or 2 laps more fuel than somebody else?
Just all depends if they're saving, really. I mean, sometimes there's gears where the fuel doesn't automatically save, it just burns and burns and burns, and then there's some default gears where it'll save a little bit every time. I think it just depends on what you want to save or not. I think that's what fuel strategy is. I mean, it's anybody can fuel save. I say time and time again, anyone can fuel save if they want to. You just have to back your pace down, put it into neutral. It's obviously kind of challenging to try and balance everything out. But it really comes down to if guys are just too aggressive with the throttle, too aggressive with their strategy as a whole, or if they just take the time to try and save the fuel and try to cut out a stop or two. So that's really what determines the difference there in strategies.
Fry Dog, I apologize if I missed it I missed it earlier. Buddy, thank you very much for the 100 bits. Hope all is well, and congratulations on being promoted to head up the eSpark Cup Series. Congratulations, man. You proved yourself in the Xfinity side, moved on up. Now you're the man calling the shots for the Cup Series. Good job, buddy. Rick James, still working on through now the 13. I think he just probably cooked it going on down pit road. His rear end sliding all over the place, also under brake. I think Garrett might have just earned himself a black flag. Working on through the field, found the 38 again. Still nobody in the rear view. I think that's going to be the 24, the one that or at least I thought, ran out of gas right in his sights. We'll have to see. I think he might be working on putting up to P number 5 a lap down at a track like this, a track as big as this place. That's a pretty big feat. That's a pretty fast rate of speed.
Impressive indeed, Pete. The 38 of Bowling is just doing what he's done all year, and right now he's got a 4.5 second gap ahead of Classic Stu. Stu has an 12-second gap ahead of Shadilak in the 3rd position. Meanwhile, NNR Chevy and NNR Swats are literally neck and neck for the 4th spot, Pete. Still action out here on the racetrack, but Bowling now cruising to what we assume will be his 7th win in 13 starts. He's got a dozen laps to the finish.
Rock NASCAR out there in chat saying congrats to James Holzer on becoming the 4-wide iRacing Xfinity champion tonight. A lot of y'all will know him as Big John in the eSpark series, eSpark Cup series. So congratulations, Big John, on your iRacing championship. And man, looking forward to bigger and better things. Holzer also runs in the PSES Truck Series on Monday nights, which NNR is also part of. So he's a man to be beat every single week. Very, very fast. No surprise there. Congrats one more time, James. But Rick, back here out on track, the 3 and the 51 with the 88 not too far back. There's a lot of people saving gas. I think that's why the 38 caught the 24 so easily, and he's also way out of the throttle going through 3 and 4.
Way out of the throttle going through 3 and 4, possibly just lost a little bit of control of his race truck, but it's a bit difficult to maintain that concentration here in these final laps. You start thinking about the end, you see the wide expanse between you and the next truck, and in these final 9.5 laps, Bowling has lost concentration and smacked the wall before. It could be catastrophic if he does again. It's still his race to lose. He's got control of the truck for now, Pete, but the tires are going to wear, and he's going to stretch the fuel to its very limit. These final laps are the most crucial for Bowling to hang on to the truck. 8 to go.
8 to go for the 38 for his 8th win, I think, isn't it? So Bowling, the man is on a mission. I tease him a little bit that I call him Asbel 2.0. If you were here last year for the NNR Truck Series, Asbel just about walked away with almost every win all season long, but couldn't move on up into the Cup Series, which is where I and several others felt that he belonged. And then once the last season was over, he went on up to the Cup Series and raced the likes of you, Lucky, and CGMX Rose, the Aviator, More Smoke, and several others. He wasn't winning as much in that 88. He decided to go ahead and call that quits, moved on over to iRacing. He's already up to his A-class license. He also races on Monday nights in PSES for anybody out there that follows Asbel. Or Tristan Bailey, as what is his real name over there. So Bowling absolutely following in Asbel's tire tracks for this season. He has been a force to be reckoned with all season long as we're winding down the back half here.
Winding down this race here, Pete. 7 seconds now the gap between first and second place. NNR swats in that 51 now, seeing the leaders just catch up to him here. The 38 truck now looks like he's getting to the back of TGM Beast in the 88 and NNR Chevy in the 3. If he can get around that 3 truck, it will leave 4 trucks remaining on this lead lap. The 38 has once again put in a legendary shift.
Yeah, and there's no trickery in this or nothing like that. When he came down with 17 to go, filled up, grabbed 4 brand new Eagle Feel Goods, got back out on track, and he was able to go the distance. I think he's just been a little cautious. Make sure that in case the caution did come out, that people are going to stay out if you pit and vice versa. He had to do what he had to do. But yeah, that 38 is getting closer and closer in the 88's rear view. And just think, Rick, in the last, 50 laps ago, we were talking about the 88 and the 16 right behind the 99 and the 38. How things change, huh?
How things change indeed, Pete. What was a thrilling close start to this one has now sifted into dominance here. The 38 about to put NNR Chevy 1 lap down and leave 4 trucks on this lead lap. It will be 4 laps to go next time by.
Lucky those that maintain their fuel, not necessarily saved, just maintained. Worked with the draft, didn't really have to back off a whole lot. Pitted right when the math made the most sense are the ones that are going to go all the way. You saw the 16 come out of pit road right there. We saw the 24. I think we also just saw one other. The 3 is very, very close on making it. He's like maybe a half a lap short. So if he's in fear of or just about ready to get lapped by the 38, he could almost coast, maybe lose 1 spot, but it would still be a pretty good showing if he's up to the top 4, trying to put just the top 3 on the lead lap.
Yeah, absolutely. And you don't want to run out of fuel the last lap and lose everything. But you're looking at this, the dominant performance from Bowling's done a really great job, and as Chevy was the but I could still get more from him in this race, whole lap there, and just say.
But your earbuds or whatever it is you're using are cutting out really, really bad.
I'm still running competitively,
Yep, I think we just lost Lucky. Lucky, if you could still hear me, your earbuds cutting out really bad. You're broken up like every other word, every other syllable. But Rick, it looks like 38 able to work on by the 3. He's got the 88 right in tow. As Chevy comes to the line, Bowling in first place, 1 lap down. That means we're going to be talking about 2 laps remaining for the 38.
Indeed, Pete, it's going to be just 2 laps to go, and it's 3 more miles to the end in what has been a thrilling race at the beginning here, but then just an exercise in dominance. This 38 truck putting his flag in the sand early into this season. It's been a while, relatively speaking, since we've seen Truck 38 win a race, Pete, but he's back on track. If he can hang on for 2 more miles, it will be 7 wins in 13 starts for Bowling.
Not a bad. 7 wins. Anybody would be ecstatic to have 7 wins in a season. It's not that easy. What you think about all the different tracks, the super speedways, the cookie cutters, the mile, the road courses, whatever it is, Bowling has been able to get it done all the way down on the apron, just coasting his way through. 3 cars going to come right behind him, which is going to help him being a lap down because he was a half lap short. Bowling's going to go ahead and get it done at Auto Club, possibly for the last time. We're going to go ahead and take a look at our top 3. Yep, looks like Shadilak able to bring it home in P2, and his brother in the 51 able to bring it home P3. Chevy P4, Beast P5, Classic Stew, Krabby Soup, Papa Bear, Garrett, and More Than a Cape, rounding out your top 10. Hell of a race, dominant as dominant gets. Congratulations one more time, Bowling. All right, guys, we're gonna take a quick one more commercial break. That way, when we're going through interviews, y'all are not interrupted. We'll be right back. And as always, we are back with our top 3. I'm going to go ahead and kick it off with P3, NNR SWATs. Great finish in that 51 Rowdy machine. We saw you throughout the night in various places, different kinds of circumstances. Able to bring it home P3. How'd you finish in stage 1 and 2, sir?
Stage 1, I think I was 4th. Stage 2, I was 7th, but I had to work back from the crash that I got put into. Stage 3 was good. I had to work my way back, like I said. Once I realized in the first fuel run that if I saved about 3 or 4 laps, I was good to go for the final run completely. So most of the credit for this specific track, even though it's one of my favorites, goes to Shadilak, because he's always winning or pretty damn fast this track. So I reached back to one of the old setups that I had from Heat 4 that was his, and I took also what was from the tournament. But that was in the cup.
Swats, I think we just lost you, buddy. You still there? All right, something happened with Swats' mic. So, Swats, if you could still hear me, man, a phenomenal race. It's going to be a great points night for you. Definitely looking forward to next week. And I know you had a hell of a night last night at Watkins Glen. Congrats on 2 pretty good nights of racing. Rick James, you've got that powerful 99 Carolina Nut machine.
That Carolina Nut pilot, Shad, you took that 99 to another impressive second place when it looked like you might not even get a podium. What went through your mind coming down pit road when you spilled?
Nothing that's PG came through my mind. I tried to stay behind Bolin as long as possible, and I would have been good, but he had to get behind me to try to save fuel, and I don't have a clutch or a shifter like he does, and with me being out front, I obviously became 3/4 of a lap short of where I needed to be, and then I was worried, thinking that was going to screw me out of a top 3, but luckily the guys that were behind us weren't able to save either. So me actually going that one lap extra, even though half of it was not under power, it did benefit me in the end. But I knew at the end I wasn't going to catch Bolin, and all I did was just save fuel and try to make sure I did have enough. So, yeah.
A fantastic race nonetheless. Any words for your fans at home?
Yeah, just shout out to you guys for broadcasting it, letting us put on a show, and then want to say my condolences to Vols and to Mike T. I know they're going through a difficult time, so I hope their families are doing well.
Appreciate you, Shad. Congrats on second place. Pete, you've got our gold medalist.
No, I think we're going to leave that honor to the one and only Pro League Season 2 champion, Lucky Dog. You've got bowling, sir.
Got a copy, my man.
I got ya.
So it's a pretty familiar sight for you. I've got first place once again, and there's a little bit of fuel strategy that had to dictate this victory. So just talk me through your thought process in that third stage and putting up the stints. What was going on through your mind there?
Yeah, so I called it last week in the post race that this one was going to turn into a fuel mileage like it did earlier in the year, and it did. So, I tried to save what I could on the first run under green flag by just staying behind those guys, not really trying to pass anybody. I was able to save enough to where it would get me where I could make it, but I still had to save a little bit. And then the second run, I was pulling Shad around so he could save fuel or try to save fuel because I knew he didn't have a shifter, and me and him had broken away a little bit. So I'm like, okay, well we can manage this. And then I had to either get behind him or slow our pace completely down, and I ended up getting behind him. And I also slowed my pace down too by throwing it in neutral, going around the corners the last 3 laps of that green flag run, and it saved me enough fuel. I hate doing it. I'd rather just run balls out, but unfortunately fuel mileage is a part of racing, and I know I hate it and I know other guys hate it, but I like wins and pay a lot of money for my equipment to win, so I'm gonna go out there and win.
I was gonna ask you, fuel strategy and how annoying it was, because for me when I was doing fuel strategy, I hate it so much, but I think you just answered that question there. We all hate it. Any shout outs for this race here, for this victory?
Yeah, I want to give a shout out to you guys for broadcasting, and then my thoughts and prayers and condolences go out to Vols and Mike T. Hopefully, if they were watching or at any capacity at all, that they enjoyed what they were watching. I know we went 3-4 wide a couple times, and we're just trying to make it interesting. I was hoping Shad could save the fuel like I could, and we could have really put on a show there at the end, because I think that would have been a pretty good battle, side by side for the last few laps. I think that would have been a lot of fun.
All right, well, another fantastic victory here, and just keep up the good work, bud.
Thank you.
All right, Pete.
Thank you, guys.
Hey,
Absolutely.
can you hear me?
Yeah, I got you.
I don't know if my mic cut out earlier.
Yeah. You definitely your mic split after you started to say something. But man, congratulations on a great finish tonight, Swats. And we might as well follow up with you. Anything special about tonight's race that got you to that P3 finish?
No, it's more of a combination of actually giving full, I guess, a nod to Shadowlack's old NH4 setup. I also mixed in the cup setup that we had from the tournament because it was in the cup cars, so I just kind of mixed them because NHF5 is a little bit different.
Yep.
But no, most of it's from him from practicing in NHA4 and NHA5 and using the setups and stuff like that. But no, I love this track. It sucks that this is probably the last time we'll see it on a heat, or not a heat game, but a NASCAR game. And like the other guy said, condolences to Vols and Mike T for what they're going through. And then always a shout out for you guys taking the time to broadcast. And Coeats for putting on the league.
Absolutely. And Coey for putting on league. Coey's been out there for most of the night, chatting it up with everybody that's come along. Even corrected me a time or two, just short of yelling at me, I tell you. But no, great job, top three. Rick James, I don't ask you this much anymore, but I know, buddy, you're hopping around from league to league like ENEA last night. I put your Twitter and I put your channel out there. Where can people find you nowadays, buddy?
Pete, people can find me on Twitch at RickJamesTV1, and on Twitter they can find me at RickJamesTV, Instagram as well at RickJamesTV.
All right, so I need to correct that because I had twitch.com/RickJamesTV1. So I need to remove that one, guys and gals out
No,
there.
the one is there, Pete.
Oh, the one? Okay, so, hey!
The one is there on Twitch. It's not there for the rest of the social. Little
See that, Coey? I can do things right sometimes. Leave me alone. No, I'm just kidding. And Lucky, I know you're involved in a couple leagues. Where can people watch you out on the track here over the next week or so? Besides Thursday night, because we know you're going to be right back here in the Cup cars when they visit Auto Club.
Yeah, absolutely. Really excited to get back racing. Racing's so much fun. So I can't wait to race against the same group of guys who I have a lot of respect for, and they always racing against them. It's such great competition, so they obviously keep wanting me to push. And also, you can catch me racing in the SXRL League midnight on Sunday for the preset series we got going on. Have a lot of fun there. Just starting the playoffs this weekend, and we won the regular season championship. And I think also this week, this Sunday at 8 p.m. is when the SXRL Pro Series is going to start. Sorry, I burped again. My bad. But that series is going to start soon. 25% race. I don't know if there's going to be a stream for that. I'll be racing there as well. It's a short 7-race season or so. Be on schedule with the SXRL Cup and Truck Series. So nice. Overall, looking forward to it. And also this Sunday, I have a lot going on. Have the Indy Road Race, the New Year's resolutions. Let me say that again. New Year's resolution 70. So I'm really excited for that and hoping to get a win there, my first win in the Winter Heat Series. So yeah, it seems like I got a lot going on this upcoming week, and just saying that I need to film a video for them, and that's kind of due in 15 minutes. So, oops, got to do that. So yeah, I kind of have to go.
All right, buddy. Well, you go ahead and go do what you got to do. Thank you very much for coming out and calling this one more week. Everybody out there, man, thank y'all. Yes, sir.
Hey, I just want to give a quick shout out also for the upcoming NNR iRacing League that's going to be starting up here in February. So
shout it from the rooftop, sir.
Know that will be coming.
Yeah, absolutely. Stay very, very in tune. Not only with the community that the one and only Rock NASCAR maintains, but also Twitter as well. Make sure you head on over. The new Twitter was on the bottom of the screen. In fact, you know what? I'll go ahead and hide this right now. On the bottom left-hand side, nnrleague.com is the website. Twitter, at NNR Sim League. It used to be NNR _ or no name _ racing. But unfortunately, that Twitter had to go by the wayside. NNR Sim League is the brand new Twitter. Go on over. Make sure you give it a follow. And keep up with everything that we're doing, whether it's here on Xbox, over on the iRacing side, or whatever. Definitely love to have you along. And again, I will be back in my number 8 8 truck for that. And Vols, when he's done with his time over in South Korea, he'll be calling those races live with for his first time when he on that platform. So definitely stay in touch. But guys, everybody out there, definitely want to one more time appreciate you coming out, hanging out, chatting it up. Go on over to nnrleague.com, buy yourself a mask so you can keep healthy, stay away from the big crowd so we can get back to a track as soon as we can get this COVID crap out of the way. Y'all have a great night, and I'll see you tomorrow night right back here, 8:30 Eastern, for the Xfinity guys.